Okay, Gun Collector 007 here with what I think is just an incredible product, and as the title says, these are knives made by a company called ShivWorks, and this is the original Clinch Pick. And when I say original, that means this is the one that's been made for, I believe, about 20 years. They do have a newer version with a slightly different type of a handle I'll get into in a second, but this is the original, and I love it. So I'm an original type of guy. I like the classics, and as far as these go, these are the classics version of this particular knife. So what do we have here? These are very small fixed blade knives. So when I say very small, we're talking about end to end. These are 5.5 inches, and the blades, and this is the trainer, by the way, I'll tell you in a second, the blade itself is only 2 5/8 inch. And these are a single edge blade, but the difference is these blades have a top edge, and that's called a Pikal style, which is something out of the Philippines. And basically what that means is to rip. Pikal means to rip. And these have a G10 handle, as you can see right there, and this is an egg-shaped handle. So when this is in your hand, it fills your entire hand, and it's not going anywhere. It's made out of a high quality Sandvik steel, 12 CZ 27 steel, and like I said, you have a trainer and then you have the actual knife. So I've had these a little over a month now, and I have been carrying them for about a week. So I did carry the trainer because, again, this is something that's quite unique. If you have other knives, just to give you an example of another knife with the sheath, this is just a normal knife. When you pull it out, you see the blade is on the bottom. So in a self-defense situation, if you were thrusting or slashing or anything like that, the blade is on the bottom like a normal knife. This, the blade is on the top, and this is why they give you a trainer, because if you don't have experience with this, you could get yourself into trouble. So the bottom part, where we're used to seeing the blade, is the dull edge or the unfinished edge. The top part is the actual sharpened blade. And the way this works is when you pull that out, as you saw, your finger fits nicely into that choil. You do not put your thumb down on the top. If you're used to doing that, you're going to have a problem. Again, that's why you should play around, or train, I should say, with the trainer for a while. So I've finally gotten used to it, because I am a guy that carries different knives all the time. But when I carry this one, I'll tell you what, I feel like this is probably the best self-defense weapon or knife that I have, and I have over 600 different knives. The concept, it's quite new to me. I know this has been around for a while, but you know, what's old to someone else is new to me. I just think it's an incredible knife. Comes with this G10 sheath, and it has this belt clip, and this is meant to be worn. I'll show you, and then I'll show you in a second how it looks on the belt. It's meant to be worn like this. So you slide it through your belt, and then you take it all the way over to about the 11 o'clock position. So now when your belt is buckled, we'll just do it roughly like this, the knife is hanging down like this. So it hangs down at a 45-degree cant. Again, I'm going to show you this on my person in a second, but just to give you an idea, it hangs down on a 45-degree cant. And the idea is, in a close quarter situation, and that's what this is, in a close quarter situation, if you have your standard type of knives, which you've seen me review hundreds of different ones that, you know, either have a flipper or a thumb disc, you have to reach into your pocket, you have to pull it out, you have to flip it open. Hopefully someone doesn't get in your way while you're flipping it open, and the blade gets stuck halfway, and then you're up the creek. The idea of this is, in a self-defense situation, if someone is grappling with you and they're grabbing your hands, all you need to do is get your hand onto that little egg-shaped handle right there, and you pull that out. Once you pull that out, you're done. You have this knife out, and again, you have this top edge. So if someone was grabbing your hand, all you need to do is lean back and use your back or lat muscles and put some weight into it, and that person that's holding your hands is not going to be holding your hands for much longer, because this is going to it's going to absolutely force them to stop what they're doing and rethink their motives. So this knife was made by a guy named Craig Douglas in the 1990s. If you watch on YouTube, and I'll put a link below, this guy's like the original 007. He is absolutely the real deal. He's got 21 years of police officer experience, SWAT team experience. He was the commander of a SWAT team, and he found that in real life situations when he was doing undercover work, sometimes he's had some hairy situations where he was in very close quarters, whether it's in a car or in a bar, somewhere like that, and he's needed to deploy a knife, and standard knives just did not work out. So he decided, hey, let me design something, and there you go. So on it has the ShivWorks logo, and it's just, again, it blows me away. I've had it for a month. I've shown it to tons of friends, and they're all ordering them or have ordered them, and that's it. But the idea of the reverse edge is what really got me, thinking that, that is really the way to go. You can do some serious damage with this, and this is a self-defense knife. So yeah, it could be used, for everyday carry, cutting boxes and, things like that. But it is made to get you out of the jam. So, hopefully, just like a gun, when you put your gun back into your holster, it's in there, and you don't take it out. You're not playing with it. You're not doing anything. This is meant, again, as a self-defense situation. And like I showed you in the beginning, they do give you a trainer, and it also comes in its own Kydex sheath. So highly recommended when you get this get this knife, to use this trainer, and I have a little bit of oil on there, so just to keep it conditioned. You use this trainer and get used to, the big thing is get used to not putting your thumb on the top, because if you do, you got problems. But once you sort of get the hang and your brain really wraps around this concept, which is totally different from everything else, I think you're in good shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause right now, and then we're going to see what it actually looks like on the belt. All right, be right back. Okay, so to resume, and I am without my trusty camera person today, so I'm doing this all by myself. So as you saw, I showed you the knife. By the way, it comes in these fantastic boxes. You get one box for the trainer and one box for the real knife itself, with these ShivWorks, super cool logos on it. And so here I am, just wearing a basic black t-shirt, and if you didn't know that I had this knife on it, it doesn't really print, you wouldn't know. So the way this works is it's now attached to my belt, and like I said, it's in the 11 o'clock position. It's through the loop. Now some people put it underneath the belt, other people use it out. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. But the whole idea is this is hanging down, and when you sit, it's very comfortable. It goes between the line of your crotch and I guess your thigh, and you don't even know you have it on. Again, it's so light and extremely comfortable. So the way this works is, if you were in a self-defense situation and someone was grabbing your hands and you needed to escape, again, taking a knife out of your pocket, flipping it open, a little bit hard to do in a real life self-defense situation. With this, as long as you can get your hand on that egg and pull that out like so, you are in business. Now this knife, again, if someone had their hand and they were holding both my hands and we were fighting, I could just go like that, or again, with the blade being on the top, I could deploy it, it's already out. Or B, I could just now pull back with my back muscles, and if they're holding my hands, sorry to say, they're gonna have a big problem. So absolutely phenomenal knife. It's got this sort of little coating on it. It comes with a Kydex sheath. I've seen a few people complain that it gets some black marks on it. If that's going to be something that's going to bother you, I don't know what to tell you. This is a self-defense knife that's made to save your knife. If you're going to get upset with a piece of plastic against a piece of steel, obviously the softer plastic is going to rub off on the steel. But you should polish it once in a while with a little gun oil like I did, and it's perfect. And it also helps it, go back in the sheath. And when you put it back in, you just put it right back in, and it clicks in with authority, and that's it. Like I said, there is another version which basically they put a little texture on this here, and it's a little flatter. But for me, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And that's it. But again, to deploy it, again, you're fighting all you need to do is get your hand on that. Even if you can't move your hands, if you just pull your hip to the side, you have that. And then again, being very careful, if I slide that back using my back muscles, you know, that's pretty much all she wrote. So ShivWorks, I thank you guys for making a fantastic product. This was originally made in the United States, but it turned out to be a little bit too expensive, so it's now made overseas, so it's very, very, very affordable. I definitely recommend you get the trainer as well as the actual knife itself, because this knife, again, does take, you know, getting your head around the fact that it's a top side blade. So, but once you get once you get it in your brain that it is a top side blade, this is a knife that could actually save your life. So it's not a decorative, it's not pretty, it's not McCarter, it's not Damascus, it's not anything, you know, silly and stuff like that. But again, I've been carrying this and I feel very confident carrying this particular knife from ShivWorks. So, all right, so I'm going to leave the links below. This is not available on Amazon. You need to go directly to them, and again, I'll put a couple links, and I'm going to also put some other videos of Craig Douglas showing you, you know, up close and personal, you know, how the theory behind this of him making this knife and what, you know, what forced him to do this. So that's it. So this is my very low budget video, like I always do, no editing or no anything like that, but it's real, and this is really one of the best knives that I've ever come across. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alrighty, take care.